It's another bloody gorgeous day here in paradise, Christchurch, New Zealand. You're with Thomas, PC Guru Engines. And there's two things I want to talk to you today. One of them is the engines that are coming up on the channel in the next few months, hopefully. There are some planned and some unplanned. I also want to talk to you guys and ask you to have a look at the channel that my friends and I have created, another YouTube channel. Nothing to do with this. More to do with what he and I really enjoyed when we were kids, which was the science fiction fantasy art of the 70s and 80s. We now have the computer technology to be able to create that kind of stuff ourselves using AI art. And he's a remarkable expert in faces, expressions and emotions and AI art. And I dabble in the kind of science fiction-y space fantasy scenes. That I used to enjoy. I've also got my perspective from my career of being a computer guy and where I think AI could go and could take us in the future and the far future. And that's a pretty amazing sort of conceptual philosophy. Do give this a listen, do give it a watch, do give it a go. On this channel, the MUSA hit and miss vertical that's been teased and probably will be coming out in the next few months. MUSA make very high quality engines, probably the top of the Chinese game, and with a little bit of tweaking, they are engines that will probably last forever and look beautiful. Anything by MUSA I'm going to look at. Definitely anything by Jin, OKMO models, Microcosm I'm going to look at. He's heavily made different kinds of 1.6 to 1.9 cc vintage based, prototypes in this kind of scale, and I love them. They're cheap and cheerful. They can be made to run surprisingly well, like really well, and I have a lot of fun with those. I specialize in those. But he's always trying to step up his game, step up his technology and his mechanical ideas. And it's a little bit small to make them 1.6 cc. He's having a lot of success with these. These are about 4.2 cc, the Harley Prototype models. He's released an engine which is based on a Chinese diesel from about 1950. He's running it as a petrol engine like his are, but he's focused on quality, he's focused on durability, he's focused on looks, he's focused on getting the technology up with an oil pump, which is a first for these kind of vintage prototype engines. An oil pump, oil channels in the conrod piston, and a iron piston ring, which is a first for his models. So you don't have to use oil in the fuel, which is also a first with his models. I want to get my hands on that. It's currently a bit pricey. It's currently a new release, and it's currently just before Christmas. He makes that in two versions. There's the trailer version, which I like because it has the more scale muffler, and then there's the version on a base, which I prefer actually on a base. Those are his models, but on his YouTube channel he's showing a tractor. Now I've got two of his tractors, the tractor and the tracked tractor, and I love them. But he's really gone forward with, if he can create and produce a tractor with a proper little gearbox, 3 speeds in reverse, and the diff and all that sort of what we see cast on the back of full-scale tractors, then that will be absolutely remarkable. It's amazing to see that he can attempt this. And the engine he's using is again one with a built-in oil pump, piston rings, made for durability, but an air-cooled version, not like the one I've just mentioned, the old diesel, which is a water-cooled model. So I'm fascinated to see this, and we'll have to I won't have any choice. I'm afraid I just won't have any choice but to buy one of those when I can. And the other one, which I've been waiting for months, as have a few of you, is the mill engine, the big mill engine, the big wheel that is probably based on, it certainly looks like a Finn Hansen inspired motor. Now he makes some remarkable engineering. He's Danish. He makes these little diesel engines of around 7 to 9 cc, and he doesn't supply his methods drawings, but he does mention some pressures and methods that he's used, and people all over the world have probably tried reverse engineering that, but there's nothing on YouTube. There's this model, which is a 4-cylinder. The video looks quite old. It's still quite an achievement. I'm interested to see how big the injectors look on that, but it's running very nicely. Doesn't appear to have throttle control that I can see. The models that are coming from China were previewed months ago and offered for sale on AliExpress, and I know at least one of you has taken that up, as I did. I've been corresponding with my subscriber who bought it from AliExpress, and both of us said, 3 months is enough. We're going to pull the plug on that. When it comes out, we'll buy it. But while we've had no problems with AliExpress or the seller and the specific seller, it's still a long time to leave, that money in a system overseas. I'm hearing from the seller that it's about to go. It's just getting finalized, and he sent us pictures. But the manufacturer of this engine has had it delayed, and I'm hearing he's had it delayed because of legal issues. He's probably making sure that he isn't infringing or copying patents, or if he has new methods that he's put in, then he will want patents on those. So naturally, the Chinese lawyers are taking him for as long and as much as they can. In the meantime, that's got to be a good thing for us, because he can tweak and tune and improve that engine. I would note that he has some problems ahead of him, because there is special care needs to be taken with a model like that. You need to make sure the fuel is absolutely clean. If you flood it and you get a hydrolock, you can break that engine. Now, the parts are looking really good. He's got a beautiful new cast conrod. He's changed the cooling from the original green version, and you can see these improvements. The parts he's now selling in a new revision of the engine as a petrol 4-stroke. Those parts were designed for his diesel. Those are the parts that our AliExpress supplier showed us as being the diesel ready to go, and my subscriber and I didn't buy it. That is not quite ready to go, but when it is, we're getting that. So the diesel, the miniature vintage diesel, absolutely gonna buy that. Can't wait. The MUSA vertical, can't wait. Any tractor by Jin, I'm going to be interested. And the other little engines by Jin. In the meantime, I might get an AliExpress 200cc domestic, farm diesel engine. They're around $200 US, and probably another $100 to get it posted here in New Zealand. That's US money, New Zealand money, about $400. I'd love to have a look at it. I'd love to listen to the sound. I'd love to take it apart a bit. I'd love to put a heavier flywheel and make sure all the oils and compression, everything is good, and see how slowly I can get it working on a nice bass. And this will tide me over until I get my little vintage style miniature diesel, which will be a lot of fun. That's the channel's future in the next few months. There will of course be the unexpected thing like this, which I pulled the trigger on. It's a beautiful little generator magneto from Jin. It's got a simple little motor in there. I found that in a Epson printer, and I believe it's the same motor. Takes a fair bit of turning. It's not going to work on the 1.6cc, 1.9cc engines that we love so much from OKMO Microcosm, but it will probably work on the bigger 7 or 8cc engines. I'm going to try it on this one. It will definitely work on the 12cc 4-cylinder from OKMO Microcosm, the Holt. Talking of the Holt, found a video online I want to show you because it shows a model engineer with a beautifully made, privately made Holt model. That's what I'll be aiming for as I continue to tune that, and I'll keep you guys up to date with that. So we have a few things. I love to have you guys around. Over 3,000 subscribers, a big deal for me, and I love to share with you. Do go and have a look at Face and Space, my new channel. Nothing to do with this, but hey, you might enjoy it. Thanks.